Let's go. Fucking hell. Episode 2. The bitch is here. Where's the fucking pen? Oh, he's hidden the pen.
Oh, yes.
Doing it this time. Ha!
Artistic,
Jesus.
please.
Trump's a fucking trumpet. Oh. Subtle. Nice. It's my style. Hello, episode 2 of Cutting Close with me, Josh Hughes, and...
Caolan Carney-Slee.
Cheers. Nice to see you. How you doing, all right?
I'm good, you? How's life in the free world?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Can't complain. But... sorry.
No worries.
I said I'm not going to apologise for ticking.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to
apologise every single
It's
time.
a little bit instinctive. I can't turn it off.
Well, you should try and not do that.
I'll try my best. But
Was one of your ticks saying sorry?
I think I have had that before, yeah. Actually, that is so... Sorry, yeah. But I think it's quite... It's quite a British thing, though, as well. I think it's almost instinctive to just apologise for absolutely no reason.
Except for the colonisation of the world.
Oh, wow. That didn't take long, did it? That's probably record time for the Irishmen to talk about colonisation. Okay, you know what, mate? There's more of you here than there is over at home. All right? Fucking get your fucking priorities straight.
Yeah.
We welcome you all.
Yeah, we love people. I know
we love people.
No, that was humour. Did you have a nice week?
I've had a good week.
What did you do? Go on. Talk to me.
I had a really nice weekend. So went out for a few drinks on Saturday night, but nothing too crazy. And then did some suit shopping on Sunday for my wedding. Later in the year.
The big day.
You know, but I'm not a guy who wears suits, as
No.
you can tell. Nor do you.
Just Larry hats.
Hiya. Yes. What are you fucking laughing at?
Have you seen him looking like Keith Lemon yet? You have to wear that.
I was going to wear that today as well.
Oh,
I'm fucking
you have
glad
to.
I didn't. Anyway,
Sorry.
so I don't typically wear suits. So I don't typically wear suits.
No.
So I was a bit. I didn't know where to start. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what cut. Everyone's like, oh, you know what are you thinking? I'm like, literally, the only suit I've really worn is like a black tie, and the odd one for a wedding here and there. But I wouldn't know what I would wear for myself because I like to think that I have good dress sense, but
Don't flatter.
I don't wear suits, so I just didn't know where to start.
Oh, did you get any closer through the weekend?
Yeah, we definitely did. So I tried some lovely cuts on.
Little double-breasted thing.
I love a little double-breasted. For a wider man, it's lovely. Keep forgetting you're not the camera.
Fuck you, Ryan. No.
Fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you, bloody! That's to our producer, Ryan, out back.
He likes sparkling water.
Sorry, enough about me. So yeah, I had a good one. So yeah, I went suit shopping. Had a bit of an annoying one actually early in the week as well. So I was at work cutting hair, as we do, because we're barbers. And I had one of my lovely little regulars in, Freddie, who is severely autistic. And I had to work around the room with him sometimes, kind of go where he wants to go. And as some of you might know, I've struggled with my legs in the past couple of months and that. And unfortunately, I had to get to my knees to cut his hair, and I think I've done something to my knee, and it's really not good, and it's really painful at the moment. So, just been dealing with that, to be honest, which is another thing to deal with, but such is life.
Do you reckon you'll get through it?
I think I'll get through it.
That's good.
You patronising fuck. But do you know what? I mean, I say this for a lot of things, and I think it does help. It helps me anyway, and I don't know if it's helped anyone else out there. I don't believe that we're given more than we can handle. Even when the times get tough, I think doesn't matter if you believe in a God or not, but I do think everything that's put on our plate, we should be able to manage to a degree. It just gets tough, Yeah. And I know I'm just talking about my knee getting bad, but it's just on top of everything else. Yeah. That when you're always spinning all plates and then something else comes into it. But yeah, otherwise, apart from that, had a nice week, had a good weekend.
Well, I'm glad
what about you? How's your past week been?
I've had an interesting week. It's been a good week. Sad week.
Sad week.
Poor old Ireland. Troy Paris.
What do you think?
No, it was all right. Look, I'm proud of the boys, but 2-0 up, losing 2-2 to Czech Republic was not on the agenda.
Sorry, just so we're clear, this is football, yeah?
This is football,
This
yes.
is football.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like my football. It's going to be a long time to win the World Cup, though. Yeah, I'm like you lot. I'm half English, so I'm not supporting you guys.
Joe, I don't care if you do or not.
But it's all right, the Euros, we'll win the Euros, and that'll be beautiful, and it'll be a nice day for the parish. But apart from that, I haven't done much else.
Nice.
I went to a comedy club.
Well, actually, before that, we went out on Saturday night, didn't we?
We did go on Saturday night, yes.
It got quite not even rowdy. Not like we had too much to drink. We were just having a really good time, weren't we? We were just like, tunes were pumping. We weren't really having a conversation. We were more just dancing. And
the music was quite loud.
It was loud.
Yeah,
it was quite
good
close to the DJ decks.
Yeah, but it was good crack, though. I enjoyed it. Fresh. No, it was good fun. It was a nice weekend.
Yeah.
And now we're into another week. And it's a beautiful week.
It's a beautiful week.
It's Easter, baby.
The clocks have gone forwards.
Oh.
Those bright evenings are back.
Is that the best day of the year? Or up there?
No,
I think it was like Christmas, Paddy's Day, the clocks change.
Every time the clocks change, it reminds me of when I played rugby as a kid and how many kids or parents would forget the clocks change and they'd be late. That's what it always reminds me of, because it was a Saturday night and then the Sunday people forget.
Oh, because the iPhones weren't updating you back in 1977, were they, Josh?
Oh, you mother. Yes, that is true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just reminded me of a memory, actually.
Go on, then.
Of being late to rugby. I remember once I turned up and I think I was like 10, 15 minutes late. And I must have been like 13, 14. And the coach was like, Josh, what the fuck are you late? And I was like, looked at him, just thought, I don't fucking drive myself here. My mum made me late.
So you're blaming on your mother now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah. Well, either way. Do you play rugby anymore? No.
I don't. And also that coach was a prick. He ended up embezzling money out the club.
Did he actually?
He did. So you know who you are.
Is he in prison?
Sorry.
But yeah, no, but I think it's a solid week. Solid week coming up.
I went into an old memory there. So something's judged up.
You went deep, yeah. But no, it's been good. I can't complain. It's exciting to be back doing this again. Yeah. So we're going to keep this fucking shit
keep it flowing.
Rolling, baby.
Yeah.
But no, I think this can be a good episode. We've got a few things to talk about.
Sorry, how did you just suddenly turn into McGregor then?
You can't even fucking counter five, you know that, baby. Look, you know. Get me my coffee.
Sound like fucking Conor McGregor in Roundhouse.
And he's a twat as well, actually, speaking of twat.
Oh.
Well, I just don't like Conor McGregor. Oh, no, I think...
So, as an Irishman,
yeah,
are you proud to have him...
No.
You're not?
No. You guys, you could claim him if you want.
Oh, I think I don't think we could claim him, to be honest.
I'd like you to.
Right.
I find it funny how Americans all think he should be president of Ireland. But the guy's a fucking idiot.
Oh, he couldn't be a president.
Well, he thinks he can.
Really?
But he can't.
To be fair, though, Trump's... anything's possible.
Well, that is actually true. But if
that is
happened,
so true.
I would not be a happy man. I reckon 90%, unless you're from Dublin, then most people don't like Conor
as well.
McGregor.
So we're not here to talk about politics, right? That's really not something we're going to talk about. But I did see something this week about Liz Truss. Do you remember Liz Truss?
She's been with Trump, innit? Or something?
Well, she's come out saying that she thinks that England needs...
DJ.
Well, yeah, we kind of need, like... I'm trying to think of the word she used now, but it was like... Oh, God, she made Trump into a word, but whatever it was. Basically, she thinks that the administration in the UK should be run how Trump's done it, like an overhaul. And I'm just like,
dictatorship.
Christ. Well, it's going that way, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, look, at the end of the day, there's much happier topics in the world to talk about.
There definitely is, and we're going to pivot!
Oh, good episode, friends.
That is.
But yeah. But look, at the end of the day, lads, it's night. And we're going to have a nice little chat about things today, because I think me and you could potentially have an argument.
I want to fight you today.
Well, that could be for another day.
That could be, yeah. Maybe in the mud pool.
But yeah, I can't even.
Sorry, could you imagine us having a mud fight?
Mud fight?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I watched Peaky Blinders.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot better than you fucking said it would be.
Oh.
I thought. I liked it. Made me cry a little bit.
It's not like I didn't like it. That is not how I enjoyed the film. I think I get a little funny with films that are like over 2 hours. I do lose a bit of interest by that point.
That's ADHD, though, isn't it?
I can't add that to my list. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, so I'm going to leave it there.
Okay, well then you just don't like movies or have any taste.
I like Cillian Murphy, and actually I thought Barry was good. Oh, no, really?
I thought his accent was quite bad.
Oh, no, I thought he was all right. I
thought he sounded more like a dub than he did, like he's from Birmingham.
Oh, really?
Well, I thought he was good in... He's a very good actor, don't get me wrong, but I thought that was the only bit that was confusing me.
Right.
But maybe that was just me being a picky little man.
You are a picky little man.
But when he walked back in his suit with his hat...
Yeah. Oh, what, Tommy Shelby?
Yeah. When he pulled himself out of the pit, mate.
Yeah.
That genuinely...
I mean, if you love Peaky Blinders, you've obviously got to watch the film.
Oh, but even if you don't like Peaky Blinders, mate, that scene is fucking... That is...
Right. The mud scene is cool.
Yeah, that was the first scene they shot.
Yes.
But we have some... Yeah. Well, yeah.
You ran out of words then.
Yeah, I have no words.
Oh, fuck me in your ass.
In the yard.
I think you can't remember. You don't have to respond to all my texts.
I know I don't have to, but sometimes I like the arse ones.
Oh, do you? Oh, I don't know that you actually for a minute. Then do you know what?
He said that in a weird way.
I'm not going to say.
No, you should not.
Okay.
Drinking.
You're just dropping it in there.
Well, alcohol.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
Well, Sorry, the way you just introduced that topic of conversation is not what I was expecting. I think we want to talk about drinking habits, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, to some degree. You have opinions on it.
Well,
apparently.
no, it's not like opinions. I wanted to ask you what your drinking habits are, because I think you're typically known, not just for being Irish, but also I think people think that you absolutely love a drink. And I know you love a beer.
I like beer,
but actually you don't, when you do go out for a beer, you don't drink loads and loads.
No, I'm more of like a 2 or 3 beer kind of guy.
Yeah.
And go home.
Yeah.
I don't like hangovers.
No, that's the fucker.
Yeah, so I try to avoid that at all costs. But I'll happily go to the pub. I go to the pub every day and watch a game of football and have 1 beer. But I'm not a big fan of leaving it till Saturday and then going out and getting battered and then leaving my son. No. I'm just...
I think for me, as I'm getting a bit older now, I'm 31, so like... Damn! Damn myself. Yeah, I don't recover like I used to, and I am terrible for a tactical chunder. It's kind of not tactical anymore. It's just chundering. And I just don't deal with it as well as I used to. But I do enjoy going out and socialising with a drink, right?
I think that's the point. It's the socialising aspect that is the fun part.
Yeah.
But, however, a beer on a sunny day in a beer garden is pretty elite.
As soon as the sun touches the face, you start getting the itch and the sweats.
Giddy. But that's also definitely an Irish and English thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I chat to Americans and they're like, yeah, I don't get this whole day drinking culture that you lot have. But
Well,
I prefer day drinking to night drinking.
But like you said, it's the culture.
It is a culture.
And it is, I think the culture is changing, especially younger people. We can see it now.
That's true.
But I think what has changed is actually how people drink. So like, I think like 20, 30 years ago, people were so much more casual about going to the pub. You go to your local, that's what the local was. But now I think it's a bit different with money, obviously.
Well, it's expensive.
Alcohol's gone up, like everything else. But I think it's interesting when I speak to people like about drinking at home. Because I don't tend to drink at home.
I don't drink at home, yeah.
See, I find that strange because I know how much you do love a drink, but you don't tend to drink at home.
No, because I don't... I don't like getting drunk, but I love beer. And I would have no interest drinking a bottle of beer at home. So if I'm going to go for beer, I'm going to go out to have a beer.
See, I'm more likely to have a glass of wine at home.
And I don't really do that.
Do you not drink wine?
No, I like wine, but I would never, like, I just don't really drink at home. I've never done it. Like, I just don't see the point. Like, when I was 18, 19, it was like, oh, you just moved out and you're doing, that's different.
Yeah.
But, like, I like going out for a pint, sitting out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do get it.
On, watching the football.
I think especially when the summer's come around, I think that it does change. And I think, when you're coming on the arse end of winter, it kind of, you're pushing yourself maybe to go out drinking more. But I think when it is the summer and, but it's light till 8:30, 9 o'clock, you're kind of more enticed after work to be like, oh yeah, definitely got some time for a couple of pints.
Yeah, but I think I like a pub more than the pint. I love the pub. That makes me sad. If pub shut down, that'd be a sad day for the world.
I'll definitely slowly but surely shutting.
Because a lot of times I'll go there and I'm partial to a Lucky Saint. I don't mind no 0%.
See, I haven't done that.
See, that's the bit I get a lot of stick for, because I'll do, especially when I was running last year a lot, I would drink a lot more 0% because I was like, well, there's no point drinking a beer. But I like the taste of beer. But there wasn't very many 0%. Now there is.
I've got no problem with anyone drinking a 0%, but I do, and I commend it. Like, my sister's teetotal, one of our barbers is teetotal. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't see the point, personally. If you're not going to have a proper beer, then
that's the difference. That's like people who like to get drunk, I think, or people who like just have a drink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I like the taste of beer, but I'll happily drink a 0%.
Well, I'd like to be proved wrong. I mean, maybe
I'll get you Lucky Saints. Lucky Saints are the best by far. Lucky Saints.
Maybe we should get a couple of 0-0s and see how we get on.
Well, I'll get Lucky Saint. Lucky Saints are... If you get the Lucky Saint on draft, mate, you do not need to have a beer.
Yeah, see, I draft, I can put more. I'm not really a bottled beer drinker necessarily, but yeah.
No,
but I think it's also when drinking becomes more. I've had times where I'm like, okay, maybe there's a little bit younger where it kind of is it going from something that's fun to then something that you feel like you kind of fall into the trap of routine with.
Yeah,
we used to have like a Wednesday club at the pub back in the day.
Clubs.
And it was a bit like Fight Club. No one spoke about it. Either 4 of you turned up or 14 turned up, but none of us texted before. But it was we always go to a local, and it was such good fun. But it became so regimented into our routine, and it not like it became a problem. Fuck. Amy Winehouse had a problem. Sorry, no, that's more drugs. But I'm sure alcohol was involved. God bless her. I love Amy. But I do think it's interesting the kind of... What are you laughing at?
No, nothing. I love Amy Winehouse too.
Yeah. I do. There's wine in the name as well, so it kind of works. But I think there's that leap from kind of like... I know we don't consider alcohol like a drug, but it is. And I think
it's definitely a drug, yeah.
It's something that a lot of us do casually, whether it's...
It is mental that it's just such a normalised drug, though.
But it's the damage it does.
Well, it's bad. I mean, I've got like there's alcoholism in my family.
There's alcoholism in my family as well.
It's like, but it's the fact that it's so normal to, because you could get away with doing it every day and nobody really would bat an eyelid until it was getting to the point where it's destroying your life. Whereas if you were going out doing any other form of fucking narcotic or whatever you're doing, then you're gonna get picked up on straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like
sniffing ket on the way to your nan's 90th.
On the way to your nan's 90th? That'd be a story if that happened.
I know someone who did that. Anyway, that's why it came up. Don't know where that came from.
Oh, you Jenny Legs at your nan's 90th. Jesus.
God bless him. Yeah, God bless her. She's dead now.
Oh,
too much ket.
All right. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.K.P.
Rest. Yeah. But no. But actually, to be fair, that's also where I was having a conversation at the weekend. Well, it's kind of funny because obviously this is all going to be on social media, but especially chatting to younger people, and even us, I think everyone's a bit in line for the same thing. We all use our phones a lot on social media and YouTube and TikTok. But there's definitely a level with that now where I think that's gone, kind of like a drug.
I think people are so it's the addiction.
A drug, but addiction, yeah.
It's the addiction, which I
because
suppose
people are constantly like, no one looks up.
I think especially something like TikTok, which I built a big following on TikTok, and I want people to see the content. But it is the addictiveness of scrolling, and I think that's what's done it. Because even now, like I see, especially younger people, I think any moment they can have
on their phone,
just that escape of scrolling. But it's not really. I'm not saying that they're not watching worthwhile content, but I don't think they're.
You're probably not half the time though.
No, you're not.
Well, the best way to do it is, can you remember the last 5 things you watched on TikTok?
Not straight off the bat, no. Honestly, no. But I mean, there's
a lot of good stuff with it.
100%. I like watching like historical videos and stuff like that. Like, and I tell you what, I always love. Whether I'm actually in a pub, kind of circling back to that, I love seeing old pictures of an area.
Yeah,
and I love that on like social as well, like a lot of like archived pictures and stuff, and what places look like now and then. But I think most of the content that people watch, it's just rotting. It's just rotting their brain
stuff. But I think that's my issue. Obviously, it's different because with people like you, there's a lot of positive stuff that's came out from you having a social media and having a following. There's a lot of positives. You know, like we get a lot of clients now coming with Tourette's who wouldn't have came into the shop.
Well, that's massively. I mean, when I started posting, I didn't know or intend. I didn't know what we were intending to do with it.
But I think there was no intention. It was just kind of happened.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It was
it was actually Lucy, my fiance Lucy, told me to. She just said like, "Buck, hey, Jesus Christ." Sound like a warthog doing that as well.
He looked like one too.
Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa. We are kind of like that. You're the hog.
I was a beluga last week. Just call me fat.
Fatty. No fatties, no smokers. That's my dating profile.
Don't tell Lucy.
Lucy very kindly told me. She said to me, "Josh, you're obviously struggling at work, right? Can we get back to the conversation?" Sorry, I did distract you. But she said to me, like, "Josh, you're obviously struggling with your Tourette's and you're going to work. Like, why don't you just film yourself?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And we just did it. And I did it with some people I was really comfortable with, a couple of clients at the time. And it did really well on TikTok and that, and Instagram. Good, like hundreds of thousands of views. But it was then that little Harry.
Yes, Harry did blow it up, yeah.
Who doesn't know little Harry from my social media? He's a lovely little lad, and I think, for me, it was actually the way we edited it at the start. Like, it wasn't intentional, but find me another video on the internet where a full-grown man shouts, "Come and take a seat." I can't remember what my fucking line is now. "Come and take a seat, you pedo." You will never find that.
Hopefully not.
No. Well, I really do hope not. Maybe in different kind of channels. But you'll never... I meant like no, Ryan, no. I meant like the pedo hunters. That's what I meant.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
like Louis Thurix. Not a pedo, he's Louis Thurix.
He was going to go for him. Anyway, we're going back to the
yeah. Sorry.
So I didn't know what I was intending to do with my social media, but then what we've ended up doing is becoming part of a bigger community, especially when it comes around Tourette's. Like, I didn't realise how a lot of people don't feel very supported, especially in different parts of the country.
No. That's the positive side of it.
Yeah.
Because I think there's well, you know me. Sometimes I can be slightly judgmental.
What's his name again?
Yeah. That's exactly what you said. But I do see the other side of it where it comes down to like people like you. Some of it's ridiculous. That hat needs to go. But
leave my fucking hat alone.
But the positive side is the fact that now there's especially our barbershop, which I like, is that we have so many clients who come in now with different things that they don't feel comfortable with, but now they do feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I still remember there was one day you had a guy in the chair who said he didn't get a haircut anywhere for ages because he always felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then like these people and kids, everyone comes back all the time now.
Yeah.
Even if you're not in the shop anymore, like all the lads, because it's built which hopefully, like, you know, more like I Swear than movies that'll make people more understanding of it in general in the future.
I don't think it should. It's obviously it's not like we're just accepting people with Tourette's. We have
no, but it's not the point. But it's the fact that you can come in.
But I
think
it's the neurodiversity in general. Something like a haircut is such a simple process to go and get. But I think someone with neurodiversity, fuck the atypical people. Someone with neurodiversity would really struggle at such a simple task like that, going to get a haircut. Yeah. It can be really nerve-wracking, make you really anxious. You don't know what to ask for. You don't know where to look. Do you know what I mean? Looking at yourself in the mirror for a long time can be a bit of a struggle. And I'll be honest, I didn't like getting my haircut as a kid. So, and as I've grown up, it's kind of stuck with that. Like, I don't think like my haircut now.
Yeah, you get weird getting your haircut, which is a bit bizarre. Considering
it's a weird thing. I mean, I own 2 barbershops and I've been cutting for 10 years, but I still don't like getting my haircut. But I think that's a mixture of things. I think it's a mixture of I don't particularly like my own hair, but also I don't like sitting still for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, even fucking sitting here, I'm fucking moving about quite a lot.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You jiggly little boy.
I'm a wriggly little snack. Sorry.
No, but I think that's the thing. I mean, obviously, I was chatting about it earlier. I was saying I get wound up by some people online.
Yeah.
Especially when they act like their life is so difficult. When realistically you're setting yourself up in front of a camera and chatting and you're getting paid. I think that's where I've had issues in the past, being like, well, this is where I get annoyed because like you're acting like your life is so difficult, but it's not.
I think you've been a bit quick to judge people sometimes.
Online, 100%. Yeah, I've been in the past.
I think a lot of people would be like, oh, he's jealous. I don't think you're jealous. I think you're maybe judging because they've made a career or whatever out of social media.
And my more thing is that like there's so many people who work their fucking ass off every day who don't moan. And then you get someone online being like, oh, this is really difficult. Yeah. You know, I've got to set my camera up and I've got to go to the Maldives and I've got to, I get where you're coming from with that. I mean, I think if you do social media and you're complaining about the kind of work and the opportunities you get given, that isn't right. But I think you're saying, like, when you're saying, oh, normal people don't moan about their jobs. No, people do.
They don't have the platform to moan like that.
True.
And that is then seen. But I think you've got to, no matter what you do, you should always be humble, right? Yeah. And again, like, I can only talk from my own point of view, yeah. I've got quite a massive following online, but I don't ever lead a conversation or act like that. Anyone who's met me knows that it's never gone to my head. But I know it would on some people.
Yeah.
Carry on. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Every time someone says hello to me in the street because they've recognised me, I have to let my hat out. Just another little nod. My head just starts. Whoop. Yeah.
That'd be funny if that popped off right now.
I wouldn't. I love this hat.
I do think next week though, just for everyone, you should wear the hat.
I didn't want to make such a big thing about it.
If your head still fits into it by that stage.
Look how red he's gone. Like an Irish tomato.
Oh, we don't grow them very well over there.
Bad soil.
Oh, we got nice soil.
I'm going to soil myself. Sorry.
Well, that's not that bad, but you should wear it just to pass.
What were we talking about? We've been talking about social media. That's how we got.
We went the whole way through that.
Well,
yeah.
I think like with social media itself, there is obviously negatives.
Yes.
And again, like we won't bother touching on it today. We might talk about it in another episode. The whole manosphere thing. I think that scared a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of clients I talk, especially mums and like even Mia and her friends are like, well, loads of people I've talked to, they're a bit like they can't believe that people believe that.
But I think if you're looking at Louis Theroux's documentary, it's like a magnifying glass on that, on that world. Yeah. And actually, I think a lot of our worlds wouldn't necessarily collide. We're not really the age like now. We're not the age they're trying to target.
Well, I think we came up just as social media became a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't.
Do you remember the first thing you posted on social media?
No, I got in trouble. I set up my mum was like very adamant that I couldn't have social media. I was like 13.
Really?
And she was at work and I went onto her computer and set up a Facebook profile and then she found it.
Wow.
Then it was not a good day for me. So mum was very adamant on like the wooden spoon. Yeah. No, mum didn't do that. Sorry, mum. My granny did. No,
she's a Catholic girl.
But no.
Is she Catholic?
My granny?
Yeah.
She's as Catholic as I come, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely mouth. So sorry.
Oh, Jesus. Save me and praise me. I had Bebo. I don't know if Bebo was a thing here though.
Bebo was a thing. We had MySpace as well. MySpace was a big thing.
BBM was big.
Yeah, BBM.
BBM was fun though. I'd bring Blackberries
no,
back.
MSN. MSN. You must have had MSN.
I had MSN, but we should definitely bring Blackberries back.
Why?
Fucking mate, they were good days. QWERTY keyboard. Fucking,
well, they were just different,
you know
weren't they? They were just new at the time.
I fucking love it.
I remember actually that was when Blackberries came around was when I first developed Tourette's. So I was off for quite a long time off school because we couldn't really get a handle on it, and I was off for quite a long time. Like we're talking like 6 to 8 months, something like that. And I remember the school nurse decided that she was going to raise some money to get me a BlackBerry. I didn't ask for it, but I was very grateful. And when I went back to school, I went to school with like my new BlackBerry. I was buzzing because obviously a few kids had put like £1 or £2 in. Every day I walked around for at least a month or two. People were like, I own £2 of that BlackBerry.
Yeah, you probably should have shared it a bit more.
Shared what?
I don't know, one of the letters
just give
on
it
the
to
keyboard.
give people 30 seconds of time.
You can have the QWERTY.
QWERTY keyboard.
But yeah, no, yeah. Sorry.
But I think going back to the conversation of like social media with young'uns and that, I guess, because we're kind of referring to ourselves back in what?
Well, for you, what was it?
Why am I getting the old comments, man? How old are you? You're 28.
9.
29.
But yeah,
with a mental age of 9.
Oh yeah, I'm not all there.
No.
But I'm happy. So.
That's what matters. Really. But I think the times have really changed now, and I think again, people kind of, kids are being raised on it now, so they have no
True. You see it in the
idea of anything different.
Go and cycle your bike.
Yeah, get out there, get a ball.
Yeah,
you know,
just like the 60s.
Why is it making it weird? Why'd you keep turning like that? Pivot.
No.
But
yeah, look,
there is pros and cons.
There's pros and cons to it. My opinion has slowly changed because of you. But I still have a tiny bit of judgment sometimes, which I should probably get rid of.
Oh, but I completely agree that, man. Yeah. I don't. I struggle to put I put myself out there, the highs and the lows, because that's what I think. You see a lot of highs, and you don't always see the lows.
Yeah.
That's what I found. Social media is sometimes. I think different platforms, like you kind of get different atmosphere from different platforms.
Well, TikTok's good for that because I think you get a lot of these like celebrities. You know what I mean? They will have their bad day on that more.
Yeah.
Whereas Instagram was known more for I've got a private jet. I've got a McLaren, but you never see the fact that they have a bad day. And I think that's
the thing is, though, we talk about when we're young again.
Yeah.
That wasn't a big deal.
No.
Then because like celebrities didn't post as much as they do now.
No.
So like we wouldn't have known what fucking Cristiano Ronaldo was doing on his day off.
He had a good
when we
haircut,
first started out. But now, and this is the thing I think with social media that doesn't always get seen, is you see people at their highest point, right?
Yes.
Let's use Cristiano Ronaldo, I can't say his name, Cristiano Ronaldo as an example, right? He's one of the most followed people on the planet, yeah? And he's obviously so successful, so wealthy and very talented. But you don't see the fruits of his labour. So we see the fruits of his labour, but we don't see the labour before that.
No, that fucker works hard. You got to give him
and he's a grafter. I mean, how old is he?
40.
It's incredible. He's got like the physical age of like a 21-year-old.
Yeah, gets paid too much.
Beautiful age.
Yeah, I mean, what did you say? I don't even know what you said.
Ryan heard it in the headphones. It's a bit of a nod to Soccer AM. Tim, you were bad.
I don't know what's going on. I missed that little bit.
So this is my Tourette's brain game. Mental. I think I'm referring to what's his name? Tim. Oh, do you know what I'm talking about?
Sherwood.
No, who used to? Oh, don't worry. I'm
talking
talking about Tim Lovejoy, who used to run it, but now he does Sunday brunch. Cheers, Tim. Cheers, Simon.
Simon.
Yeah, Simon's on it as well.
Actually, go on then.
It's a show with two bald men. On Sunday morning.
I know you're talking about
Baldy.
Yeah, I know him.
It's a good show.
I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Guests are good.
Josh, I've got a question for you, mate.
Go on.
What's the most inappropriate thing that you've ever said at the worst time possible?
Oh, it's actually not the first time I've had this question, you know. Obviously, having Tourette's, I get asked it quite a lot, and everyone thinks that I'm probably going to be wildly inappropriate when I'm having sex.
I'd never.
But actually, that's not typically, because I think my mind is so overtaken with what's going on in front of me. I had a kill. Sorry. that I don't think that's a problem. I think one of the worst times I've had, and I think people with Tourette's will get this, is that when I see a slightly larger person or a pregnant lady, it usually goes either one way or the other. So if I see a pregnant woman, I'm like, ooh, fat cow. Or if I see if I see a larger person, I would then call them pregnant. That is not fun.
It's a hard one to explain.
Especially on public transport or in public in general. That I have had one scenario of a pregnant woman on a train, walking past, and be like, oh, someone's had a few too many pies, and carried on walking. Obviously, they don't know I've got Tourette's off the bat.
Yeah.
So we did have to then go and explain. She was very, very kind.
That's
and
good.
Was fine after. But that was one of those ones that could have gone either way.
Yeah, that's the funky one to go with, to be fair.
The waters could have broken. I could have slipped.
Yeah, you could have. That would have been a story for today now, to be fair.
What about you? I'll flip the question on you.
Oh, I say a lot of dumb stuff. Like, I couldn't give you an exact time, but I do it a lot, let's put it that way. Like, you've definitely seen me say things I shouldn't have said at the wrong time.
Well, you have got ADHD, right?
Well, not diagnosed, but there's something there.
I've known you long enough now that you're definitely not quite the full ticket. And
beluga whale, hog, not all there.
That should be your handle.
I'll change it tonight.
Beluga hog, what do they call it?
Beluga hog, not all there.
Beluga hog is quite a cool, that's like a country and western clothing brand. Beluga hog. Blue hog.
Yeah, no, but I do say mental things a lot, which I've been,
I think it's hard when you get overexcited. Like that again, like for me, obviously with my Tourette's, I can't control it, but just sometimes with my emotions, it just gets worse.
Yeah, and with me, I just get a bit giddy, and that's it. Then anything's coming out. And next time I say something mental, I'll write it down and let you know.
Yeah, no, I'd like to know. I would like to know because I mean, sometimes if I ask my friends, everyone would have like
they'd have a story.
Especially for me with my Tourette's, there's been so many stories, and there's some that I couldn't tell on camera.
Oh, my brother would definitely have a story, or Mia. I've definitely said things.
What about you?
100%.
Oh, right, yeah.
It is bad things.
It is the overexcitement, isn't it? But I mean, as long as you're around good people, I mean.
At the end of the day, look, it's a bit cracking. It. So life's an ocean, and love is a boat. And gee, that wasn't a nasty thing. That was quite beautiful.
That was beautiful. I'm just like.
It's not my lyric. It's Christy Moore.
I want to hear more about her. Christy.
It's a man.
Oh.
Very, very famous Irish traditional singer.
Oh, really? Okay. And
he's beautiful.
Do you want to be a guest?
Oh, I would love to get Christy Moore here.
Oh, really?
I love Christy Moore. I went to see Christy Moore once in Bundoran. He's got a great voice, and he plays the bowron very well. You wouldn't know what a bowron is, would you?
I would like to know what it is, though.
A bowron is like it's an instrument. It's like a drum, and then you've got like a wooden stick, and you play it like, I don't know how to describe it. You have to search a bowron.
With his hand.
Yeah. Right, imagine this is the drum, this is the stick, and then you play the drum.
Okay.
That looks crazy.
It does. Looks like he's playing a tambourine, to be honest.
It looks like something else.
Kinda.
Okay.
We like a bowron, but yeah,
Okay.
Christy Moore, he's a fucking legend. I love him.
Nice.
But no, yeah, I don't know. Life's an ocean. I'll figure out some things that I've said mental. I'm sure I'll say something this
that's
week.
a question that I think, you need to sit on and absolutely know.
I'll just ask a few people because Mia definitely will have something that I've said. But not a clue right now, unfortunately. Where'd you get that cardigan from?
This is Gap.
Oh,
It's from
God.
Gap.
Everything's Gap these days, isn't it?
Mind the gap
Yeah.
Yep.
What station?
between the left and the right leg.
Ooh.
Sorry.
No, it's a funky cardigan, I'll give you that.
Cheers, man. I
Yeah.
do like it. I do like it. It is quite toasty, though. I am maybe a little bit warm, but
Free the...
you do it. Fuck. You do it for the fit.
Yeah, you do it for the fit. You know,
do it
you
for
look
the
wonderful today, I'll give
Cheers,
you that.
man. Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment in your memory that you think changed your life?
Hey, there's a fair few, 100%.
Mm.
I mean, well, there's been a lot of death in my family the last few years. So that definitely does alter the way you think about things.
Cool.
But there's definitely like two sides to that. Because I've had there's a lot of young people that I know in the last, say, 5 years that have passed away. But the positive side of that, definitely, for me, is it makes you a lot more comfortable with death. Because I think I was petrified when I don't know, I think a lot of people are like that. Like, where you're petrified of the idea of dying, you're like...
I mean, again, I've spoken to people through work and stuff, and I think actually you don't really become well-rounded until you've lost someone.
No, but I've got like mates who are my age who've never lost anyone. Like,
Yeah, which I find that mental.
Like
Because for me, I started losing people in my life, whether it be close family or people we knew really early. And my mum was a carer when I was young, so she was quite used to death. And I remember actually we lost a kid at my school very young. She was like year 2. So like things like that are obviously horrible to deal with. But I think it does give you a perspective on life a little bit from a young age. But for you, since I've known you in like the past 5 years, I'm not even taking the piss now. I thought it was a real Irish thing because
they were all
every
Irish,
so
to be
often,
fair, but yeah, but
But young men. That's what it seems like
it's
to me.
It's all young men, yeah.
Young men from home.
I think in Ireland especially, like talking about like your mental health, talking about things like that. Oh God, it's not a thing. Like especially you talk to older Irish lads, they're never going to tell you what's wrong with them. Right. They'll just sit there and keep it to themselves.
Where do you think that stems from, though? Is that just
I think it's just from people who, like, probably over the last, like, 100, 200 years just had to work their ass off and not moan about it and crack on and just get on with it, effectively.
Still with the hardships of life.
Whereas now, often, things are changing and people do start to talk more, which is good. But, like, bear in mind, not, like, none of these were suicides. Like, nobody actually had committed suicide. A lot of them were just unfortunate and tragic things, you know what I mean? But you have to look at it two ways. At the time, obviously, it's horrendous when something like that happens. But it can make you... I don't know. I've got a big thing about like not stopping talking about people who've died because I think I don't know who it's a lyric in a song, but it's something along the lines of no one actually dies until the last day you say their name. So like I've got a big thing that I'll always talk about Granddad. I'll always talk about my cousin Tom. I've got a mate Matt. He passed away last year. Like we'll always like I would never stop talking about them because I think for me it's like a big deal.
Well, it's continuing their legacy, right?
Yeah, but it's also like taking things that like they can't. Like that's when someone goes to me like when I turned 29 a few weeks ago. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're getting old now." I look at it so differently now because of that. Like for everyone, like that's a blessing. Like the fact that I can get to 29 and like I've got mates who died at 24, 23, like Tom, like that's who we did the marathon for last year. He was 21. Do you know what I mean? Like he's so young. Like
it's no age, is it?
He, like, to be fair to Tom now, like he did
beautiful age.
more things in his life than most people have done. Like at his age, like he was doing a bike tour all the way through Africa. Do you know what I mean? Wow. Like did crazy things. And I think there's so many people in life who'll never even get to experience things he did. So like he fit a lot into his life. Now, bear in mind, it'd be amazing if he was still here now. But it does make me look at it differently in the way that I try and take every day. Obviously, you have a bad day, everyone does. Of course. But I try and take the positives out of most things because it's like for me, there's no point getting to wake up every day and being negative. I just don't see the point.
No, I
anymore.
hear you, man. I think that's a really important message, and I think you just touched on like men's mental health, and it's funny when we were in talks about doing this. Obviously, I spoke to a few people about it. I tried to be really sporadic and random with who I spoke to because I wanted to get a bit of a general consensus of what we talk about, right? And I mentioned to a few people about like talk about men's mental health, and a couple of people said to me like, "Don't you think that's been done?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not saying we're the first people to fucking talk about it. Of course we're not. Like men's mental health is a big topic of conversation, but I don't think the work is ever done." And I think we can't just leave it like, oh yeah, well it was a big topic last year and now it's all right. No, I think there's so many men that still need to be reminded that it's okay to talk.
Well, about just have a chat with anyone. Like it doesn't matter. Yeah, like it can be something stupid, but it's like.
And I think sometimes you actually get more out of talking to someone, asking how they are. And actually, I think sometimes you listen to someone else, and I think it puts your own shit into perspective.
That's a big thing.
That's a massive thing.
Yeah, realizing sometimes that you're not the hardest done by. Like,
yeah, but not just in a sense of like, oh well, actually, because I think if we all thought, oh well, do you know what? After talking to that person, nothing's really wrong with me. I think, God, if we put that into perspective, nothing would ever be wrong because there's always someone worse than you. But so everything is personal to you. But I just really resent the fact that men's mental health. Oh, we don't have to talk about that now. No, I know it's 2026, but Jesus.
Hopefully that'll become a thing though in the future where it's just not even a thing that you have to talk about because it'll become normal to the point where obviously it's never going to be 100% eradicated, like men's suicide, like things. I know in Ireland it's like one of the highest rates in Europe for like men's suicide, do you know what I mean? And that probably stems back from a long time of just not talking and men trying to be like proper big men. Like you can still be a manly man and go to work and do what you want and have a chat about the way you feel, do you know what I mean?
You can still have big muscles.
You can still have big muscles and still feel comfortable to talk to your mate about something. But I think that's what, like, especially me and you, we're good at it. Like, do you know what I mean? Things that I've gone through the last few years, like losing people, things with you, like FND, we've always been pretty comfortable. Just be like, right. I mean, I think you were there the day when my cousin died. Like, I was in the back of the barbershop, got the phone call, but like, we can all have a conversation. Like at the time, obviously, I was distraught. I'm still like today. Like it doesn't feel good now.
Grief, but it's like everyone differently.
Well, grief is different. Even like my granddad, like he was a legend. I know everyone loses their grandparents at some point. This Donny was he was a legend, mate. He was a legend. Yeah. I never met Dad's dad, but I'm sure he was a legend too. You know what I mean? But Granddad, we had the same birthday, which is part of the reason I don't really like my birthday. Do you know what I mean? Not that I don't like it. I'll always do the same thing every year. I'll always buy a pint, put it down for him, like, and just leave it. Because it's just like a way of like, I think about him a lot, but it is, you gotta keep people alive. Like you gotta keep talking about people, even if it hurts. Like obviously not straight away, but if you can get a year or 2 years down the line, talk about them. Talk to your parents about whoever you've lost. Talk to your mate. Do you know what I mean? Like it's don't let people's names just not be talked about because it's uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
I think sometimes for some people, I think it's easier to not bring them up.
I think it'll always be difficult, but it's okay to have a cry, like have a laugh, like even if it hurts. There is moments that you had so much fun with that individual person that you should talk about that.
And again, I think touching on the fact that everyone deals with things differently, actually, she won't mind me saying it. My friend Jodie Dyer, she lost her best friend. I don't actually know how many years ago, but a little while ago.
Yeah.
And Jodie's got quite dark sense of humour anyway. And she's always just has that kind of view of like, you know, I'm fucked off that she died because she's not here anymore. And I find that I find that quite inspiring to hear her talk about her friend like that, because it is like, I'm sure that's how they probably were when she was alive, right?
Yeah.
So she's still kind of keeping her legacy around by just referring to her friend like,
you used to do. Yeah.
You fucked me off because you're not here anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's, you know, I think it's very easy to say. I mean, I haven't lost a close friend like that.
No.
But I think it does alter your perspective on life.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
But I think that's also sometimes where it's like, don't think about 2 years down the line all the time. Like, just be happy with the fact that, like, you've got your parents right now. Like, if you do, you're lucky. Just make the most of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
no, but like little things, like even your mates, like instead of always taking the piss out of each other, you can be like, it's fucking nice to see you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you can still have banter, have fun. Because a lot of people I wish I could say hello to once more. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you can't. So instead of not being able to do it, chat about them. Try and become comfortable with having a conversation about someone, and just don't keep it inside, because it's pointless. You get nowhere by keeping everything inside. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's one of them.
Well
I think that's life. You know what I mean? But yeah. But there's also a lot of positives, and that's why I think I try to be happy as much as possible, and have a laugh about things. I think that's it. Same to you then. So you must, I'm guessing, probably different. But what moments do you think in your life? Because there must be a few now over the last few years where
I think there is quite a few different ones for me, to be honest. That's like life-altering situations that have made you look at it differently. But I suppose more recently, last year, obviously, I don't know if people have seen on my social media, but my legs stopped working, and it was really shocking. One leg went first, and then 3 months later, my other leg went. So they basically just shut down. Couldn't move them, and I had to resort to using a wheelchair for like 6, 7, 8 months, something like that. And it's a weird perspective, because I'm not saying I understand what it must be like to be disabled, but I couldn't walk for a long time, and obviously I had to come to terms with that myself. But actually being in the wheelchair, out and about, gave me this whole viewpoint that I'd never experienced before, and I'm so grateful for it now.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like I had an insight into being in a wheelchair, and minor things like where curbs are is something that you wouldn't think about if you've never had to deal with it. And for me, being the age I am, I also found it unusual how people look at you. So anyone under 25 barely looks at you when you're in a wheelchair.
There's no icon. Anyone
like kind of over 25 and under 55, they'll give you a very sympathetic smile.
Yeah.
And I felt quite a few times, I didn't actually say it to anyone, but fuck off. Oh, really? Sorry. A couple of times, someone in that age range of 25 to 55, they would look at me really sympathetically, and I felt a bit like, I don't need your fucking pity, mate. Yeah. I'm fine. And also there was other times, and then anyone over kind of 55, they were just sometimes overly nice, which is lovely, but like, sometimes you just want to knock about as you normally would.
You would, regardless, yeah.
But it just, the difficulty of dealing with a wheelchair when you're out and about and you want to be independent, that's what's scary. Yeah. So it just really shifted my view on it, really. And again, after I've got a couple of people that come for a haircut with me that are in a wheelchair. And one guy was telling me that he often, when he's ordering a coffee or something like that, say he's with a friend or a sibling or something, when he's ordering a coffee, people, the barista will often then ask a question to the person he's with, as if he can't talk for himself. Yeah. And he's like, my legs might be fucked, but I can still speak, bro. Do you know what I mean? And and that might be different for some people. Yeah. But I just thought, do you know what? I experienced that a little bit myself, where I remember being in a coffee shop and I ordered a coffee, and then they asked Lucy, like, does he want sugar in that? I'm like,
you're like,
I asked him for the coffee myself. I can tell you yes or no for a coffee. But that's got to be really difficult, because you shouldn't be treated any differently.
No.
But I think naturally people think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. Yeah. And that's not intentional, but I think sometimes people have got to think about it a different way.
100%. But I do think that's probably the other side of it as well. I'm a bit one of them people. You could take a positive of it in the way that you now view probably people differently. Like, I don't know if like.
I think it's going to be like it's not like I never respect.
Like, but do you feel like you maybe were the person you're talking about before you were in the wheelchair?
Oh, Oh, fucking hell, he's not bad at this, is he? I'd like to think I wasn't, but I think there is maybe part of me that would maybe overcompensate when it probably wasn't needed.
Okay.
But
do you do it differently now though? Or do you just
100%.
kind of go about it the same way that you talk to anyone? Because I think that's the thing in it, is making sure that you don't view someone differently based on the way they are, just because that's just the way you are. It's the look of the draw on it. So
do you know what I think as well? I think it's like, you can talk about the elephant in the room. I don't think anyone's got an issue if you wanted to ask them a question about it. I might be wrong, but let's not act like it's not. I think there's two schools of thought. You either just act like it's completely normal, which it is, but I think some people try so hard to not bring it up.
Yeah.
When it's like, well, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm in a wheelchair, and there's no problem with it. You can ask a question if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think because I was temporarily kind of in a wheelchair, I also felt weird because I felt like, well, I'm not actually disabled, so I don't really belong to that group, but also I really can't walk at the moment, so I didn't know where I was at.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was a weird time.
It was definitely a weird time, man.
Yeah, because I had to learn to walk again. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, was kind of having your body failing.
Yes.
Well, not failing, but just like my legs weren't registering. Like
it's
my brain
thing though, FND in general.
So FND, functional neurological disorder, which is a bit of an umbrella term for lots of different sort of symptoms of these sort of diagnoses. Cacti. I don't know. What a prick. I don't know where cacti came from. But I think it made me want. It's something as simple as walking. It's made me appreciate that now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still struggling to walk a bit at the moment, my legs are flaring up a little bit, but I can still walk. I think it's just really given me so much appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Being able-bodied, we are so lucky because anything can happen. Like when I was in hospital for a month, because when I couldn't walk and there was not really many other options, I had to spent some time in hospital getting rehabilitated basically on how to walk. I was in a ward with other guys who were just seriously injured. And I just think we do take it for granted. And being in hospital for that amount of time, I think it was in about 3.5, 4 weeks.
It was a long time, yeah. It felt like a long time.
It felt like a fucking eternity. Yeah. I lived there for a bit. That's what's so mad. It was seeing other people that were just average Joes who
I remember you saying
they were going about their day.
You felt guilty because you're like, well, like because you were almost like, I'm going to be okay, but some of these people aren't going to be okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that you kept saying that a lot, and I was a bit like, well, you have to get that out of your head at some point because you need to also.
I think that was a little bit like I'm pretty bad at that because I don't want anyone. I will never. But I like to think I would never I'm never piling on to make sure people know that I'm not okay. It's like, unfortunately, this is the situation and we've got to deal with it. But I was next to the bed next to me, lovely guy, Alex, and he'd had a serious motorbike accident only like 5 minutes away from home or something. And he'd broken his back, both his legs, and there was something wrong with his neck as well. And for 2 weeks out of the 4 I was there, he was just flat on a bed. I mean, then there's obviously the other complications, going to the toilet and all that stuff. But you don't realise that I had one night where I couldn't sleep very well. And it really dawned on me that this is one hospital on one night and it's carnage. But this is happening everywhere, all over the world, in thousands and thousands of hospitals all the time, which I know, we obviously all know that. But actually, when you start to think about it, it's mental.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop. All the services that have to happen with that, all the nurses, all the doctors, all the beds that have to be cleaned. It just the way it works is incredible.
Deep dive in it, like,
yeah, you kind of can't get your head out of it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It was a weird time.
A very weird time.
It's an interesting topic, though, especially FND. I definitely want to talk about FND at some point because I think nobody seems to know about it as much. I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, well, it's very under-researched. It's very under-researched. There's one main guy in Scotland who's researching. He's one of the leading researchers when it comes to FND, but it's... because it's so internal, it's not very well understood. It's very hard to understand from what I believe. But basically, it's like the control center in your brain sometimes loses the connection. That's how I've been told to interpret it. Sorry, that's annoying.
What is that?
It was my phone.
That's not right.
Sorry. Just put this on.
Bad man.
It's Toby, actually.
Oh.
Toby from Peru! He's in the Amazon now, I think.
No, he's just left the Amazon.
Oh,
I was speaking to the other day.
I had an Amazon delivery. Fuck off.
Next day delivery.
But yeah.
But
Also, there was something else. Sorry, changing subject completely. Let's
Yes.
bring it back. I wanted to ask you: have you been watching Laughing Out Loud?
No, I've seen a couple of clips of it.
I seen it on social.
Yeah.
They're on series 2 now.
Okay.
It's hosted by Jimmy Carr. It's such a great show. Loads of comedians getting together and basically trying to trigger each other to laugh, but no one's allowed to laugh for like, I think it's 5 or 6 hours.
No, I've seen Bob Mortimer on it.
Bob
I
Mortimer,
love him.
he won series 1.
Up the borough.
Up the borough.
Up the borough. Go on, Bob, you prick.
He's
Love
lovely.
you.
But even, do you know what makes me laugh is the comedians are terrified of him because he's so
funny, though.
He's so funny that
Yeah.
he is like a sniper. You don't know what he's going to come out with next.
Is it a good show?
It's a fucking great show.
Okay.
I think a lot of people actually try not to laugh themselves while watching it, which I actually think does ruin it a little bit because I want to sit there and enjoy it. We're not actually in the game, but it's quite funny to try and play the game. So, yeah, they're not allowed to laugh. And if you laugh, you get 2 strikes, yellow card for the first one, red card, and you're out and you sit
Also,
on
it's last one standing.
It's the last one standing, yeah.
Okay.
But this season, there's some great people on there. David Mitchell, I'd love you to put the clip on here because it's living in my head rent free. He did a performance on there. His song is just absolutely fucking hilarious.
I will have a look at it. I'll watch it.
I really would recommend it. It's really
Ramesh
just
is on it,
easy.
isn't he?
Ramesh is on this one.
I
He's
like
very
Ramesh.
good. There's a lot of deadpan comedians on it, which is really funny, but also it's like, fucking hell. I think they even got stricter towards the end because they were like, everyone is so good. Like,
Yeah,
everyone's
so
really good at keeping their composure. I mean, yeah, and just some of them they had, yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I was thinking about throw a couple of people with Tourette's in there and see what happens because I think that would be quite funny. But honestly, the way some of them act, I would have
They
thought
probably
some of them
wouldn't
had
even laugh.
Tourette's.
Yeah. You would have thought they would.
Yeah, some of them because it's just so fucking random, you know. But there's an Aussie comedian in there, and he's just left me what his name is, Sam. He's so beautifully weird
I like it.
that I think one of his questions, he went up to David Mitchell and he was like, "What's your favourite bank that you don't bank with?" who thinks of that shit? You know, but they didn't crack. It's funny. Like I would just all I'm saying is go and watch it. It's
I'll have a
really
look at
funny. I think there's like 5 or 6 episodes out now. It's on the second season. Really
I'll have a
good.
look at that. I'll be interested.
Yeah.
I was thinking Aussie. I thought you thought Tim Minchin there. Do you know Tim Minchin? Oh, Tim Minchin's funny. I think he's Aussie. He plays the piano.
I do know who you're talking
he
about.
plays
He's
piano.
not. That's
He has
not
the
him.
Ginger song. He's got a song. Anyway, we love Tim Minchin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, it's really worth it. Like me and Lucy will sit there, sometimes try not to laugh, but then when something really funny happens, you end up like spitting your
You have
drink
no
out.
choice.
Mm.
I'll have a watch that this week, and we'll get back to you next week.
Yeah, please do.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think it's been interesting today.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed that. Because it's gone for me being, well, I lost my head at one point.
It does happen. I mean, I was just trying to focus. I thought if I stay calm, you'll stay calm, but it didn't even work.
No, that's not how it works with me, unfortunately. When you set me off, that's it. So
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it's been good. It's been nice to actually have a serious conversation about things
Yeah.
too. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Because I think that's what we want to try and do on this pod as well. We kind of want to, we want to have fun. That's the
Yes.
main thing. But we do want to hit hard-hitting topics
Yeah,
because
100%. I think
I
that's
think
the-
that needs to be done more. I think,
that's kind of that was the whole idea of the whole thing, I suppose, at the start.
Mm.
Is it like not calling it directly pub chats, but I think a lot of the time, especially guys, because we're all guys, like you're not always just chatting shit and bantering each other. Like sometimes it does come to it where you have a chat. I think it's good just to normalise it, and it's good to go in between bantering each other
100%.
and having a laugh at the same time.
Well, I think because we're barbers as well, which obviously this podcast isn't about barbering, but we do this every day. We speak to people, and even though we only have half an hour, 40 minutes with them, we get to know someone. And I think from our position, I think there's a lot of, sorry, not from our position, but from our job, a lot of people kind of confide in us. And a lot of people say like barbers are like cheap forms of therapy, right? And I believe that. And I think it's actually a lot of the time, because we share with a client and that client shares back with us. It's not like we're trying to get information out of this, but I think it's really important just to discuss how you're feeling and how you're doing, you know?
100%.
So
We
I'd
should
like
just
to
be
think that
genuine.
that's what we're good at.
I think we're good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing something right.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're trying our best.
God loves a trier
Sure fucking do.
and loves it
baby.
up the arse. Jesus. Sorry, Mary. He loves it. Sorry, that's where we'll end it. Right, we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
then.
thanks.
Cheers.
Happy Christmas.